Well, hi, good morning. I'm Karen Rosnick, live from the 9 News Telethon Center, where we are broadcasting live here, where the 9 News Telethon for the Rocky Mountain Honor Flight is taking place right now. And the number to call is 303-577-2080. I wanted to get out that right away, but it's also the 75th anniversary of the D-Day today, making this year's honor flight even more special. And the Rocky Mountain Honor Flight takes veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials and monuments dedicated to their service and sacrifice. 9 News is committed to supporting our local veterans, so we are hosting a fundraising telethon to support the ongoing honor flights. And again, that number is 303-577-2080. And I wanted to bring in Joe Winslow. Now, you are the Guardian Coordinator with the Honor Flights. So tell us a little bit about the background of the Rocky Mountain Honor Flights.
Well, we've started our flights in 2008. We've taken 34 trips. We'll have 2 more this year, one in September and one in October. And then we've taken a little over 1,500 veterans from the Denver metro area, all over the state, actually. And we go for 2 nights and 3 days. And we always leave on Thursday and come back on Saturday. And it's a wonderful experience for not only the Guardians that go with volunteers, but also for the veterans.
And it's not cheap. I've been told that it's about $60,000 for one flight, but we've raised so far $31,000. And I want to bring in Steve Simon. He is a Vietnam veteran. You can come right in here.
All right.
You just got back from an honor flight, didn't you?
I did.
What was the experience like?
It was great. Everything we
Pretty emotional, wasn't it?
it was.
Well, thank you for your service, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
So we're going to be checking in throughout the day, but we're going to be hearing from more people about what the honor flight means for them. But I'm going to send it back. Colorado and Company starts right now.
Since 2008, the Rocky Mountain Honor Flight has taken over 1,500 veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials and monuments dedicated to their service and sacrifice. And this year's flight will be especially memorable, as today marks the 75th anniversary of D-Day. 9 News is committed to supporting our local veterans, so we're hosting a fundraiser, a telethon today, to support the ongoing honor flights. And our COCO correspondent, Karen Rosnick, is standing by at the 9 News Telethon call center with someone's very, very special. Karen?
That's right, Denise. Well, I'm here at the 9 News Telethon Center, where volunteers are standing by to take your calls. That number is 303-577-2080. Very important to pick up the phone, even if it's just $5, $10, they'll take any donation. But I'm here with 3 very special people who are part of this honor flight, Rocky Mountain Honor Flight. I've got Mary Denise Haddon, who is the board president, and I also have with me Joe Winslow and a Vietnam vet who is Danny Kennedy. So Mary, I'll start with you. Tell us about the honor flight. What's a little bit of background on it?
The honor flight was started in 2005 after the World War II Memorial was dedicated. And at that time the focus was solely on World War II veterans because there was nothing to honor their sacrifice and service. And then this program was started, and it just grew and grew and grew. And today there are about 130 chapters in 40 states, and all of us have a different program, but we all have the same goal, and that's to honor our veterans.
And it isn't cheap. It's about $60,000 to send an honor flight to Washington, D.C. We've raised about $31,000, but talk about the sponsors and how important it is for people to pick up the phone today.
Well, our trip runs between $60,000 and $65,000. Some of the hubs, depending on where they live, their expenses, of course, are very different. All of our donations come from the general public, and we have no government money. They've never offered, but we wouldn't take it anyway if they did. So we raise this money because we really want to make sure that every veteran has an opportunity to be honored. And so we're doing this telethon thanks to Channel 9. Channel 9's been such a support for us, and we've been able to continue our mission thanks to the generous sponsors in the Denver area.
All right, well, thank you. And that number again, 303-577-2080. Joe, tell us about the important role of the Guardians on these flights.
Well, we couldn't do what we do without the Guardians. The Guardians play a very significant role with each of the veterans. They serve as roommates. They help load and unload the bus, help them up and down the steps of the bus. We have wheelchairs that we carry with us, so we have to get those out at every stop. And one thing unique about our trip is we get out at every stop. So we're constantly in and out of the bus and out from underneath the bus, pull the wheelchairs out, put them together, and use those and push the veterans around. A lot of the veterans think they want to walk, but when they see the World War II memorial, it's pretty expansive, and maybe I will use a wheelchair.
Yeah. And these volunteers, they're all volunteers, aren't
They're
they?
volunteers, and all guardians pay their own way.
Exactly. All right. Well, Danny, I want to bring you in. You're a vet from the Vietnam War.
Yes, ma'am.
You just came back from an honor flight, and thank you so much for your service. But tell us, how was the experience?
Very emotional, but very healing. And I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to go.
There were a lot of tears, I know, right? I mean, that Vietnam Memorial is so powerful. So
It was on my bucket list, and thank God I was able to go. And I really appreciate everything. I do.
we appreciate everything you've done. I know you met a little girl on the trip, and she said something very special to you. I'm going to have you say it.
Well, we were in Baltimore and flying back to Denver, and this couple sent their little daughter up to thank me, and she came up and shook my hand and said, "Thank you for your circus." And it was so beautiful. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget the trip. I'll never forget what these folks have done for me. I feel very blessed.
Well, we're blessed to have you here, and thank you for your circus and your service.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Danny.
Thank
and
you.
Everyone that calls here, they're going to be, even some vets are answering the phones. It's just so amazing to have that experience to, reach out and help these veterans see these memorials. That means so much for them. So it's 303-577-2080. Denise, I'm going to send it back to the studio for you.
Karen, that was just beautiful. Please help support the Rocky Mountain Honor Flight by donating today. The number 303-577-2080. Flights for veterans are free, and they can't do it without your support. So please make that call today. Make a donation. The number again, 303-577-2080, or you can go online to 9news.com. You can also make a donation on the 9 News app.